And we all know how he got
Morning.
there because he's another Japanese comedy figure that wrestles blow-up dolls and small children.
Yes.
And engages in various activities in and out of the ring with Twinkle Toes McFingerbang.
Oh, never mind.
And that's where he's noted and known by these silly wrestling fans. I'm not talking about the fans are silly. I'm talking about their fans of silly wrestling. So, Brian, we'll go over a few of the people who didn't get in. But I'll make this one a spoiler, and then you can tell us who got in the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Hall of Fame this year. But Kota Ibushi is in the Hall of Fame for wrestling. Sergeant Slaughter is not. Am I correct on this?
Are you serious?
You are correct. Sergeant Slaughter fell a few votes short of getting inducted.
But Kota Ibushi, for his noted encounters and mega-selling matches with sex toys and where he sticks his finger up other guys' asses, and his finish with Twinkle Toes as his tag team partner was called the Golden Shower. He's in the Wrestling Hall of Fame. Sergeant Slaughter is not. I just want to say that again.
No
Who else won this year?
Well, Kota Ibushi's very popular with Observer readers. They like his matches.
That's exactly what I just spent 10 minutes saying. The people that Dave is left with, this is the kind of Hall of Fame figure that they believe is deserving.
Well, the people who went in this year, the highest percentage, 76%, for Akira Taui and Toshiaki Kawada, who are certainly a Hall of Fame caliber tag team.
Okay, but again, Akira Taui and
Kawada.
Toshiaki Kawada, they're in the Hall of Fame. But the Assassins, Tom Renesto and Jody Hamilton are not, as last I remember. Ole and Gene Anderson are not, and Kurt and Carl von Bronner are not.
Right, and again, Kawada's already a Hall of Famer. There's been a big debate for several years about Taui. This is the first year, and this is something we used to talk about on the old 605 Hall of Fame specials. For the first year, Dave opened up tag team voting, and the first tag team to be voted in under these rules is Kawada and Taui. Next on the list, also with 76%. Actually, let me stop and say this, because this goes into the overall voting. Taui and Kawada got in 76%, 148 votes. The next person is Mystico, 76%.
Who?
74 votes.
My thoughts. Who?
Mystico, a major draw card in Mexico. Kota Ibushi, 65% with 128 votes. And right on his tails, Tatsuya Naito.
Tatsuya Naito!
With 127 votes and 65%. Rounding out the list are Los Vianos, Lucha Libre Legends, 59 votes, 63%. And finally, Mark Rollerball Rocco, who received 80 votes for 62%. And also, historical candidates inducted, seemingly at will, and deserving, Johnny Darrow and Johnny Doyle.
No. Lou Darrow.
Lou Darrow and Johnny Doyle. I had Johnny Doyle on my mind. Lou Darrow and Johnny Doyle.
I woke up, I had Johnny Doyle on my mind.
That's what Matt used to sing.
So, Taui and Kawada, Mystico, Kota Ibushi, Tatsuya Naito, Los Villanos, and Mark Rocco
Los Villanos, isn't it?
are the new members of the Hall of Fame. Let's talk about some names that are not. Sergeant Slaughter not only is not in the Hall of Fame, but he will be dropped from next year's ballot unless he gets 50% of the vote. Did he get 50% of the vote?
Nope.
Sergeant Slaughter got 57%
Oh,
of the vote
okay,
this year.
good.
150 votes.
Stays on the ballot.
And again, it's important to point out 150 votes. So although he got more votes than every single person who went in this year, because the votes are from his region, and they weren't as many percentage-wise as the votes from another region, which is why Mystico gets in with 74 votes. That's why Sergeant Slaughter's not in.
Yeah, because now he's broken it up. Well, if you're from Mexico, you vote for the Mexico candidates. If you vote for modern performers in the U.S. and Canada, you vote for them. If you vote for historical performers, or if you vote from wrestling in Australia, New Zealand, Europe, Africa, and the Pacific Islands, so 6 people on the Isle of Malta vote for fucking some guy. He gets in because there's only 6 people on the Isle of Malta. But
I'm Adrian Arsenault. This is The National.
But Sarge can't get in,
But
though.
I back up. Here's some names that aren't in the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Hall of Fame. Ole Anderson, Bob Armstrong, Jack and Jerry Briscoe as a tag team.
Well, again, they just opened up tag team voting this year, and you're burying one of the big stories. Rocket and Perez couldn't get in this year.
Oh,
The first year they were on the ballot, they couldn't get in.
so Argentina Rocca and Miguel Perez did not get voted into the Wrestling Hall of Fame, but Towie and Kawada and Los Bolanos did. How about Wild Bull Curry
Nope.
is not in the... folks, we could be here for 5 hours talking about the longevity and the giant gates and the massive importance of all of these people at various points in time in the wrestling business. It'll bore you after a while because it dwarfs anything that the people that we just saw elected or inducted have ever done. Cowboy Bob Ellis is not in the Hall of Fame. Pampero Firpo, the Mongolian Stomper, the Hart Foundation. Bret Hart's in, but Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart as a tag team, they didn't get in. Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. Okay, we can't. Sputnik Monroe, Blackjack Mulligan is not in the Hall of Fame. Rayson Hennig as a team. Dusty Rhodes and Dick Murdoch as a team. You mentioned Rocca and Perez. Steamboat and Youngblood as a Mad Dog and Butcher Vachon as a team.
Well, again,
Couldn't get in.
other than a few examples like the Freebirds or the Midnight Express, typically there haven't been teams, and once you were in as a single, like a Mad Dog Vachon, you weren't on the ballot again for a second thing. Stan Lane was in, this is where the technicality got weird. Stan Lane was in as a member of the Midnight Express, but the Fabulous Ones weren't on the ballot.
How about this? Junkyard Dog not in the Hall of Fame. Edge, for a more modern name, not in the Hall. Edge is not in the Hall of Fame, but Kota doll wrestling sex toy play with her Ibushi is. Goldberg, the Hardys as a team. Paul Orndorff not in the Hall of Fame. Randy Orton, CM Punk, Roman Reigns shouldn't be. That's another thing. Active wrestlers, they're still wrestling. I know people never really quit, but while a guy's still on top in a major company, I don't know they should be nominated. The Steiner brothers didn't make it. The Von Erichs didn't make it. But by cracky, Towie and Kawada and Kota Ibushi did. So Mystico is more important in the history of professional wrestling than Wild Bull Curry, Blackjack Mulligan, Cowboy Bob Ellis.
No, and let's just make sure we say it. He's not. It's about the voting, who's voting, and the way the ballots are being counted and put together. Because again, anyone could say we're going to have this big vote for someone in wrestling. I think I read somewhere, and I didn't see this in the Observer, maybe I missed it. He said there were like 400 something people voting last year and a few hundred people voting this year. That's a lot of people. I got turned off when I started seeing the results of things that were happening and who was getting in a few years ago. I didn't vote. For the record, I should just say, I get a ballot. I haven't voted in the last 2 years. I don't know if I'll ever vote again. But I started hearing about other people's ballots, not other historians or whoever is classified as a reporter, but other wrestlers who were given ballots by Dave. And that's what I realized is a problem, because when you give people who may be in an industry but have no knowledge whatsoever a ballot, you're changing things. I knew a wrestler a few years ago, and I don't want to say who, and I don't even want to disparage the person he voted for, but hopefully you understand what I'm saying. He voted for Brian Pillman. ahead of like a whole bunch of people who
Yeah.
are clear-cut Hall of Famers. Brian Pillman was his favorite wrestler. He voted for Brian Pillman. That's all it took. When you look at this year's voting, the reporters, because Dave breaks it down, the reporters, the number one vote was for Tetsuya Naito. In order. Tetsuya Naito 1, Mystico 2, Johnny Saint 3, Kota Ibushi 4, Kawana and Towie 5, Rollerball Rocco 6, Rocca and Perez 7.
Oh my God. Okay, and even if you go with, let's just look at the Europe, Australia, New Zealand section. Mark Rocco, and again, you know, a great wrestler, but you can watch him on tape against Tiger Mask, right?
Certainly.
So Mark Rocco got in, but the Royal brothers, Burt Royal and Vic Faulkner, the most legendary tag team in English wrestling, didn't get in because you can't watch them on video wrestling Tiger Mask. Killer Carl Cox was in this category because of Australia. Killer Carl Cox didn't get in the Hall of Fame, but Mark Rocco did. Johnny Saint, they voted for him even though he didn't get in. Great technical wrestler, but they've overlooked Ricky Starr and Adrian Street, both of whom had longer careers, and Johnny Saint was technical wizard. Both these guys drew more money in multiple countries.
Despite the fact that you drove in a car with Adrian Street, so you've heard a lot, where do you fall in the Big Daddy debate?
You know, honestly, it's one of those things where you pretty much have to hold your nose and vote for a guy who was worthless in every way except he was the biggest draw for a period of time in the business in that country. And mostly killed it afterwards. He made Hulk Hogan look like goddamn Steamboat in the ring. So you can't even use the, you know, well, Hulk Hogan wasn't a great wrestler, but he was a great worker. Big Daddy wasn't a great anything. His brother was the promoter. He was a fucking huge, you know, it was like the Ultimate Warrior, except instead of a superhero body, he was a big fat gray-haired fuck with a big potato nose. But he was the biggest draw for a period of several years at a point where the business in England was about to die. So, and he helped kill it. But it's like if you put an American woman in before the fabulous Moolah, if it's not Mildred Burke, it doesn't make any sense.
But I'm looking right here at the different things here, and I'm looking at the overall vote. This is why I got disgusted with it. If you just look at the overall list, which combines all the different voting groups, it goes by percentage. Who was the closest to getting in? So you need to get over 60% to get in. Slaughter got 57%. Rock and Perez, 57%. Close, but no cigar. The Briscoes, 53. Steiner's, 52. Davey Boy and Dynamite got 52. Goes on for a while. Here's where it's like, what the fuck? Like, seriously, what the fuck? Who's the voting body? Bobby Davis, 45.
What up, y'all? How you doing? I'm take off my makeup. I have a video of me doing my makeup this morning, so we're gonna take it off now. So yeah, I'm gonna be using my Thayer's facial toner, which I absolutely love, and my Nivea cleansing wipes, which I know people hate when I use wipes, but who fucking cares? Who cares? It's makeup wipes. Whoopee! Any hooser. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna take my cotton pads, probably a bunch of them. It's a good chunk. Who cares? Boom. Ow. Ow. My schedule wouldn't allow it. 1 o'clock, wallowed self-pity. 4:30, stared into the abyss. 5 o'clock, 5:30, jazzercise. 6:30, dinner with me. I can't cancel that again. 7 o'clock, wrestle with my self-loathing. I'm booked. Ow! Sorry, like directly in my eye. Ow. Woo. Okay, so that's one down. Woo! Alright.